me Tidam Shriyam Guru Hong Ha Ho Bangaven Rada Dagadam Dharma Memon Bonzen Baba Ma Samaya Sadhu Om Bandara Sadhu Sam Morning Balaya Bandara Sadhu Deno Boy Didan Didu Membo Sadhu Gayam Gayam Membo Anurado Membo Sova Siddhi Membrayan Sorvaga Masuzame Chidam Shriyam Guru Hong Ha 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 Ho Bangave Sorvada Dangada Banzarama Memunzam Banzembo Masamaya Sadhu Om Banzar Sadhu Samaya Manu Balaya Banzar Sadhu Deno Ba Didan Didu Membo Sudagay Vayam Membo Anurada Membo Sova Siddham Parayanza Sorva Karma Sudzam Siddham Shriyam Guru Hong Ha 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 Ho Bangavan Sorva Dada Gada Banzarma Memon Banzem Bava Ma Samaya Sadhu Short refuge and for measurable, and then 4 thoughts. Sanje Jo Do Je Jo Non Lo Jan Jo Bar Zo Dan Jo Zo Je Da Ge Jin So Ji Be Sonam Ji Do La Ben Jir Sanje Do Bar Jo Sanje Chu Da So Ge Jo Nam La Chan Jo Bar Do Dan Jo Zo Nage Jinso Jive Sonam Ji Rola Benjir Sanje Barajo.
In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings.
Manangkrata Nyambe Samjen Tamje Dewadan Devi Yudan Tambara Yud Dunga Tam Dunga Ki Yudan Jawa Yuji Dunga Mabe Dewadan Idevara Yud Nyering Chadan Nidan Devi Danyam La Nevara Yuji Mohanan Kada Nyambe Samje Tamje Dewadan Deve Judan Dembaraju Dunge Dan Dunge Gi Judan Dewa Juji Dunge Mebe Dewadan Medewaraju Niring Chadan Nidan Deve Danyam La Nebaraju.
May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Jigbara labe lundu tovete tome namye wando mazomba tende tarwa dula jo. English.
Oh, this kind of leisure and endowment is supremely difficult to obtain. When we obtain this body, which is easily lost, do not waste it meaninglessly, but rather use it to attain the ultimate liberation, joyous result.
Okay, now this morning we have the second
The nature of all phenomenon is impermanence. Death is a certainty for all who are born. Death can descend any time, like a drop of morning dew on a blade of grass. Quick, it is time to make effort for the essence of Dharma.
Yeah, so now this is second or third here. We will just fresh reminding this morning, two things. So we're back to there a little bit. So to remember, precious used for the jewel, wishing fulfilled jewel. Wishing fulfilled jewel can give you this life if you finding the jewel, if you know how to use a jewel, and then this life is pretty much, wealthy and this kind. But they cannot make you into pure karma. But the three jewels and precious life can this life and next life in ourselves and others. So that is way to precious life is we need to remember, always everybody they have experience. My parent is a precious me, right? Very important to me. And my something very important for me. Maybe somebody with you still, somebody no longer with us. Likewise, the second, the impermanent. And you have the Milarewa book, 100,000 Son Milarewa. Yes, we have in the book. So then see the impermanent and very powerful the great Yogi Milarewa said, the impermanent is a sudden moment. So in the English or American said, are rich in the rock in the bottom, So this means you are very, very suffering. So now you need to try to get out the circus. So likewise, the great Milarewa, he is a wonderful father, mother. So you can check the chapter is Milarewa return after his received teaching through all the teachings. First time return in his hometown. So the great Milarewa and his sister, young, beautiful, and father's business and hair. There are a lot of ornament, jewelries, and beautiful, so many cousins and so many friends. And then suddenly father passed away, and family situation is here, say, upside down. Now the young Milarewas and his sister no longer ornament in their hair. And the mother is a slaver, is the uncle and aunties. So this kind of changing is very quick. And then the mother's request to the Milarewa said, we need to do something, This is your father's not wish, but the auntie and the uncle did terrible things. You need to do something. And he did. And then he made the great master, the Marba, hot son of the Naropa. So Naropa is the Pandita, the scholar in the university in the Nalanda. They are all the Nalanda is the best scholar, but the Naropa is the best. So he's many students. The best one is the Marwa translator. So Marwa translator, he want to give the teaching all way he received in India, Indian Mahasiddha and great yogis and Panditas. So he has many different teaching. So Milarewa is called hearing through liberation or hearing transmission and generally hearing Tumu practice lineage and things like that. So the Milarewa before and he first meet in the Marba, he said, can you please give me the teaching? and also give me the food. I need to become Buddha and within you. And Marva said, well, you choose one. You want food or teaching? So that's a long story and short one. And he said, I'm coming here to purify my karma, to receive the teaching. I can find food, So then he said, I don't have any offerings. So I offering my body, speech, mind. And Marva said, well, I have so many students, wealthy people, they give me offering yachts and mules and horse and gold and things like that. But now these days, maybe jet and maybe Subarus and maybe BMW, something like that, as times different. So then Marva is very, very pleased this student came in the door, received the teaching, and he can handle how much I can give. For example, the for physically, mentally, receive highest tantric teaching, how much you sacrifice. He the only can handle. I need to exercise him to inspire others. Otherwise, the other student easy to give up. What you call here, loud excuse. Loud excuse in sick call and things like that. Family meeting, reunion, things like that. So he first, there's no space to strict. And Marva nothing mean to the Milarepa through the love, top love to training. So then the chapter right now, and he can read, there's the Milarepa said, I offer everything my body, speech, nothing left for me, a touch object. And then Marva give for him, say, okay, you need to retreat. And he did a retreat. One day he has a dream. The dream is beautiful house. You can say a 5-star hotel or castle, and becoming failing, ruling, and the mother is sick or die. Sister is something becoming homeless or beggar. So he cannot handle. He just missed so much for a long time, and then he came back in the early morning when Milarepa arrived. During the time Marva is not fully awake. And the Marva's council bring food, and the sun shuttle in the window to the Marva's head. That's kind of simultaneously together. And then Marva said, what happened, my son? I send you retreat, not coming to here. And then Milarepa tell the story, then Marva said, okay, I am the achievement, everything's interdependent. So I will tell you today is interdependent, because when I sleep and you come here, this is the human form we're going to see as the last time in each other. But the council, the Guinea bring the food means you have a retreat, practice time, many non-human beings can serve for you. Many Daginis, such as the 5 long life sister and many beings they serve for Milarepa. And the sun light rich in my head means my teaching or Kagyu tradition is like sun can radiate into the whole universe. So then Marva said, remember you told me you don't have anything, you give everything for me, body, speech, mind. Now you think you have looks like nice house and things like that. Marva said, you will go home more than 1 week. Don't stay there and becoming attachment, negative things. And maybe you found some powerful impermanent teachings, more than in a book, more than instruction of the teacher. You can see, you can feel. Then you concentrate, you can find what's the only way to you succeed. Then he returned to his homeland. And in the afternoon, sunset, all the shepherds, the sheep and cows taking home. And the Milarepa asked, do you know this big house? Who lived there? Who is this? Can you tell the story? And the shepherd, young boy, said, well, when we talk, always say, don't go to this house, the ghost town. And their son called Milarepa, he has the power in black magic. Nobody want to go to their house. And his mom passed away. Nobody can take her body because they're afraid of the black magic. And sister is become homeless and mentally illness, she not there anymore. So if you are yogi of power, you will go there, maybe fascinating, you can find something. We're also afraid Milarepa, so we don't know where he is, Milarepa is, okay, this is real, the impermanent. I remember I grew up this beautiful palace. Now people become a scared place, like ghost town. My lovely mom is people afraid to the ghost, things like that. Then he come back in the place. Exactly is his dream. And the mother passed away years ago. They don't know when. And her body is near the kitchen. He remember. And there grows a lot of grass and many things. He digging. He found mother's body and only bones. He just evening prayer and the poa. Her mother is consciousness transformed. He has this kind of power already. Then all house, the text and everything was very bad. And after that, he has, family member, somebody come in prayer, said, can you help me make tzatzas my mother's bone? And the tzatzas and leftover text, they becoming nest of the bird house or bird nest, give the practitioner. Then next to his village, there are one cave called Gangsukpo. Gangsukpo means he is begin there meditate. And he begin there and his meditating is stable in this place. So this chapter is very powerful. We're talking about impermanent. Luxurious become homeless. Homeless become in the enlightenment because there are this kind of opportunity. So did you found it?
I didn't see anything.
You didn't see his return to hometown?
There's nothing.
Okay, anybody found Milarewa after the teaching return his hometown? Yeah, there's a chapter there.
Yeah, no, there's nothing entitled.
Looks like he's never returned home. Maybe chapter is missing, maybe eat somebody bugs. Yeah, so now we can find anybody can try. Milarewa returned the hometown and he see all the situations. I know in Tibetan, but English is I don't know which numbers, chapters. Who's in Latin wisdom? You can ask Siri or Google.
It's either at the beginning of the 100,000 songs or it's in his biography. I don't remember seeing it in his biography. I don't know. But you told the story pretty good.
Okay, try. Milarewa returned to the hometown, first received teaching in the Marwa, and he met a shepherd in the mountain. He saw his house, situation. His house, like in the Ukraine house right now, it's very devastating. One thing is very devastating and large suffering. One thing is a strong inspire. Samsara is the no place, the pleasure. And this give me some peace and happiness, but this has happened.
Do you know what the name of his hometown was?
Huh?
Do you know what the name of his hometown was?
Gyangaza.
John Watsa?
Gyangaza. Yes. I think the title is Milarewa return to his hometown, I think. In Tibetan text, that's why exactly they said, Milarewa return to the hometown. Because before he lived in a hometown to the meeting with the received teaching in the Marpa, now he returned to his hometown.
I think that's in his biography.
I need exactly which one. I know it biography.
in volumes.
It's good. We were learning. You know, we read many times. Now we'll see finding the Milarepa. Milarepa Church Yurdropa. See here in the Tibetan text, Lama was returned from his root teacher to his hometown. Tibetan text, what I said is the same. He's returned to the hometown. He was with his teacher. Now they say, Dharma, from his root teacher place to return to the hometown.
Did you say it was Junpon Nanka Song is the name of the town?
No,
Okay.
because you made a new now.
Okay.
No, new town. Looks like Millennium was a new town. Maybe new downtown. I say Gyangatsa. Yeah. All right. So anyway, looks like we will searching. Everybody try. That's not easy, you know, but it's okay. So just I said in the meaning, when he returned to his hometown, he is a powerful message. He don't have object to stay in his home anymore, because mom is passed away, father is passed away early, sister is homeless, and he have no idea where she is. So then the Milarepa did, you know, a candle or maybe oil lamp, put it in his head, not moving. This is his commitment to strong physically, mentally meditate. It's called Gangzukpu. And within 1 week, he didn't move, he didn't eat, but he's feeling very well because inside, and his gentle is working. He's taking essence food in all other place, and he meditate. It's called Gangzukpu. And he,
Chapter 8, Samantha has it.
oh, Samantha has?
Yeah, life story. I sent it to her.
Oh,
Not
okay,
that book. It's a different one.
okay.
So she could screen share or something.
Or she can share. Yeah. So now everybody needs to remember those Milarepas. Remember, we recommend 100,000 of Milarepas. You need to read many times. This is to give you inspire. You think, oh, I love practice, but today I'm not so good feeling. I will go tomorrow. You know, remember, this very bad excuse. Oh, today I'm not so good. Tomorrow. So tomorrow's never ended. Your practice never succeed. Remember, I said this is one Tibetan restaurant in the Lhasa. They call Tomorrow Will Be Free. The restaurant name and the title. Tomorrow will be free. So the tomorrow is never ended, but you need to pay all the time.
Lama, the way I understand it is that he went to his hometown and he found his relatives, you know, like you said, and then he was sitting outside because somebody told him to stay outside, and he started eating nettles, and I think his sister or somebody fed him, and then he told him to get on and get out of here. They'll kill you if they find you.
Maybe part of the chapter. This, you know, many pages. But what
Yeah.
we're talking the specific right now is what his return hometown, what got his message, and what he's changing in the moment. How is the power of the impermanent. The nettle is letter, nettle soup, and all those things, the letter chapter.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Simon, can you ready to share now? Yeah, Simon sent to you.
I think she's still working on it.
Yeah, he's working, she's working, and we're working. So they always the people said you can look in the His Holiness Dalai Lama. When he talked the Milarewa life story, he broke out. Also his breakdown. He is crying because Milarewa is a very powerful benefit for the sentient being. How much he sacrificed. He don't have any second thought. Only one that thinking. The only one is the Dharma, nothing else. So that's his sacrifice. They said, the future holding the Milarewa tradition, you not need this much hardship. Because, say, from here to going somewhere, nice place, but on the road is very bad. But now Milarewa looks like concrete road. And also his teachings like GPS, you are very easy to get there. Not the same as Milarewa's time. You know what I'm saying? So Milarewa's lifetime, very hardworking. He's the first in making the smooth landscape or teachings smoothly suitable in all sentient beings. But not suitable like heat hardship is the 21st century, almost impossible. So that is where he said, in the future tradition, follow Milarewa, not need hardship. You stay, without clothes, food, and stay mountain, not needed that kind. But supplicate what he done, and this blessing directly touching in our heart. That's where His Holiness and tears come in his eye. So that's the blessing rich in the heart. Okay, now you're going to read here a little bit. Chapter 8, what they say?
Again, Drikung asked, what circumstances led to the Jetsun to leave Lama Marpa? Marpa asked you to live with him for several years. How long did you stay? The Jetsun replied, I did not stay there many years. Circumstances led me to return home. In retreat, my spiritual practice proceeded well. Normally, I did not sleep, but at dawn one morning, I fell asleep and had the following dream. I arrived at my village of Kyangatsa and found my house Kazi Dungye cracked like an ear of an old donkey. Of the valuables inside, leaking water had damaged the sacred scriptures of the Ranakuta.
Okay, we'll go slowly. Many people you don't know. Kyangatsa is the village. That's I said earlier. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Kyangatsa. The next one is house. What do you say?
Kazi Dungye.
Kashi Dungye. This is a special design architecture house. We're talking 4 pillars and 8.
Walls.
Not wall, and carrying the ceiling. What do you call? Pillars this way, right? Pillar this way, and another wood for this way.
Beams.
Okay, beams, whatever they are. It's a unique design. This is called unique design, not ordinary house. This is Tibetan architecture said this is very special because the Kashi Dungye. So he's talking the Kashi Dungye. Now the rolling all maybe fell down on the one side in the house. This way, one is looks like coming up and one's down. That's what we call looks like dengue ears. Yes.
Of the fields outside, Orma Triangle was overgrown with weeds. Of my family, my elderly mother was dead. and my sister had gone off wandering as a beggar. Because my relatives rose up as enemies against us, mother and son were separated in misery while I was still young, and we had never met again. This filled me with immeasurable sorrow. I called out the names of my mother and sister and wept. When I awoke, my pillow was damp with tears. Thinking this over brought my mother to mind. I shed many tears and resolved to do whatever I could to see my old mother again. Day broke. I tore down the door of my cell and went to see the Lama. He was asleep when I arrived. Standing by his pillow and assuming a humble attitude in body and speech, I made the following petition. Lord, Akshobhya in essence, compassionate one, please let this beggar return to his homeland one time. In the region of Karon and Lhasa, mother and children, whose kinsmen rose up as enemies, split up from each other. Many years have gone by. Now wrapped up in their memory, I can bear it no more. Please let me go meet them just this once. Then I will swiftly return. The Lama awoke. At that moment, with the sun rising over the house, rays of light shone through a window by his pillow and fell upon his head. At the same time, the Lama's wife entered bringing his meal. The Lama said, Son, why have you suddenly broken your strict retreat and come here? You run the risk of encountering demons and obstacles. Go back right away and stay in retreat. Once more, I described my dream and offered the following request. Lord, Akshobhya in essence, compassionate one, please let this beggar return to his homeland one time. In the region of Karon and Gangatsa, nothing of value remains. Yet these are what have me so wrapped up in thought. To see if my house, Kazi Dumye, is now collapsed or not collapsed. To see if the sacred Ratnakuta scriptures are now damaged by leaking water. To see if the fertile field Orma triangle is now overgrown with weeds. To see if the mortal frame of my old mother's body is now in good health. To see if my sister, Peta Kongi, is now wandering or not wandering. To see if Zese, betrothed through karma, has now made a home of her own. To see if my uncle and neighbor, Yungyal, is now there or not there. To see if my aunt Duma Tokdren is now dead or not dead. To see if our priest, Konchok Labum, is living there or not living there. Above all, my mother who gave birth to me, body and mind. Thinking of her, I can't bear it. Please let me visit my homeland just once. Then I shall swiftly return. The Lama replied, Son, when you first came to me, you declared that you had no use for thoughts of home or family. Now you have many. Even if you return home, it will be difficult to meet your mother, and I do not know if you will easily find the others. You spent several years in the region of Usang and many others here as well. If you wish to go, I shall grant you permission. But if you are counting on returning later, your coming here to make this request and finding me asleep is an omen that we, father and son, shall not meet again in this life. However, the sun rising over the house is an omen that you shall illuminate the Buddha's teachings like the sun. In particular, the sunlight shining upon my head is an omen that the teachings of the practice lineage shall flourish and spread. Dakmema bringing food offerings is an omen that you shall be sustained with the food of concentration. Now there is nothing for me to do but to let you go. Dakmema, prepare a fine offering. The Lama set up a mandala, and the lady laid out the offerings.
Okay, there are a little bit more continue. So can you maybe 1 or 2 more pages around? Who's this one? Then he song. Okay, you can read right side. Number the there.
I think chapter 9 is also the next.
Namo, to the compassionate one, I address my prayer. Contemplating the lives of past masters endowed with compassion is itself the very oral instructions. Hoping to accumulate many is cause for distraction. Keep in your heart the essential instructions. Much this and that without the essential is like many trees, but no fruit. They may have their merits, but they are not the ultimate. Studying them is not seeing the truth. They have much to explain, but have nothing of profit. Take to heart that which profits.
Okay, next one. Maybe can you one more next page? Okay, next one. Still the Milarepa and Mara begging for the question answers. Next one. Profound instruction of the transmission of the meditation. That is the true combination of the time. Maybe next one. This is the Yum concept Dhamma. What I will which is the water Dara.
Chapter 9 talks about using the mother's bones to make satsas.
Lord Lama. Okay, one more. Okay. Food. Yeah, this he's talking, teaching. Still, they're talking each other. His reply is okay. Now we'll say. This, I think they're talking on the way. You have the protectors journey. Never again shall I commit deeds that are not with Dharma. I will meditate with Lama above the crown under my head. Next. Okay, chapter 9. Can you read there a little bit more?
Again, Rechupa said, when the Jetsun Lama returned to the land of his birth, was it as he had dreamed, or did he meet his mother? I did not have the fortune to meet with my mother, just as I had seen in my terrible dream, answered Milarepa. Rechupa then asked, in that case, how did the Jetsun arrive at his home? How did he meet with his countrymen when he first arrived? Milarepa continued, when I first arrived in the upper end of the valley, at a spot where I could see my house, there were many herdsmen. I asked them the names of the local places and what the locals were like. They answered in detail. Then I pointed to my house and asked, what is that place called? What do they say about the people who live there? That down there is called Kazidunye. It has no one but ghosts for residents. Pressing for details, I asked, "Are the people who used to live there dead, or have they left the village?" At one time, they were among the wealthy people in the region. Then the father, who had just one son, died prematurely, and without properly arranging his last will and testament. After the father's death, paternal relatives seized all of his only son's wealth. They were supposed to return it after the son grew up, but refused. Out of revenge, he cast magic in hailstorms, and the region was devastated. Now all of us fear his Dharma protectors, and we don't dare even to glance in the direction of his house and fields, much less go near them. By that account, the corpse of the only son's mother lies in the house down there, and her ghost still haunts the place. There is a sister who left her mother's corpse and became a beggar. No one knows where. The son himself may now be dead. There's been no news about him at all. It is said that some Dharma texts remain in the house down there. Yogin, if you dare go, you should have a look. How much time has passed since this happened? Some 8 years have passed since she died. Only distant memories of the magic and hail remain. I merely heard about it from others. I thought that, since they feared my Dharma protectors, they would not be able to harm me. I felt certain that my old mother had died and my sister had gone missing. Filled with sorrow, I sat weeping in a hidden spot until the sun went down. When the sun had set, I went into the village. Just as in my dream, the fields outside were overrun with weeds, and the house, once like a temple, had buckled. Stepping inside, I saw the texts of the precious Ratnukata Sutra, damaged by leaking water and falling debris. Birds and mice had made nests in them, covering the books in their droppings. I looked at this scene and took it in, and I was filled with sadness. Then I walked across the doorstep and found a heap of rags caked with dirt, over which many weeds had grown. When I gathered them up, a number of human bones, bleached white, slipped out. When I realized that they were the bones of my mother, I was so overcome with grief that I could hardly stand it. I could not think, I could not speak, and an overwhelming sense of longing and sadness swept over me. I was on the verge of fainting, but at that moment, I remembered my Lama's oral instructions. I then blended my mother's consciousness with my mind in the wisdom mind of the Kagyu Lamas. I made a cushion of my mother's bones and rested in a state of luminosity without letting my 3 gates waver for even an instant. I saw the true possibility of liberating both my mother and my father from the suffering of life's round. 7 days passed, and, emerging from my absorption, I thought things over. I am convinced that all of life's round is without essence. Thus, I shall make figurines from my mother's bones. As payment for that, I shall make an offering of these Ratnakuta texts, and then I shall practice at Drakar Tasa day and night without regard for my life. If the 8 worldly concerns arise in my mind, I shall kill myself.
Yeah, you can say Tagar Taso. This is very important for the millennials establish a place. Tagar Taso, day and night. Tagar Taso means white rock, looks like the horse teeth. Okay, go for continue. Regard for.
If the 8 worldly concerns arise in my mind, I shall kill myself. If thoughts of a comfortable life come up, may the Dakinis and Dharma protectors strike me down. I repeated this pledge over and over in my mind. I gathered my mother's bones. Then I took good care of the Ratnakuta texts, clearing them of dirt and bird droppings. They were not too damaged by leaking water, and the letters were still clear and bright. I loaded the first portion of the text onto my back and carried my mother's bones in the fold of my cloak. Feeling immeasurable weariness toward the world, I became certain that life's round had no essence. Thus, I sang this song of my fervent pledge to carry out the essence of Dharma. Lord Akshobhya in essence, compassionate one, translator Marpa, in accord with your prophetic command, in my homeland a prison of demons, masters, impermanence and illusion appeared. Bless me to maintain certainty in these excellent masters themselves. In general, all things that exist or appear are impermanent, unstable. They change and they move. In particular, the things of life's round have no essence. Rather than do things that lack any essence, I go to do Dharma divine. That's essential.
Okay. Now this teachings they're telling, his request to his teacher, I want to go home and based on his dreams. Now the song, the telling continues that when I was to very young age, I have a wonderful father. I wish I would maybe grow up a little early. And now I'm here, father's not there, also not meaningful. I need to go to meaningful place such as Takartasu or do retreat. And now we have the great house called Kaishi Dongye. Now she looks like the old dengue ears. I need to go the meaningful the Takartasu in the mountain retreat. My sisters now become in the beggar. I want to go to meaningful things. So this is his telling, and every impermanent can change. No object to attach, nothing left. Everything's changing, something like that. So one more page beyond. Next page. Okay, next one. They see kind Father Marva Lodzawa.
Kind Father Marpa Lotsawa, bless your son to remain in mountain retreat. After I had sung a song of my sadness, I first went to the home of the tutor who taught me to read. He had died, so I presented the first portion of the Ranakuta text to his son and said, I will give you the rest of this religious text. Make figurines from the bones of my old mother. Your Dharma protectors will follow this book, so I don't want it. But I will help you mold the figurines, he replied. My protectors will not follow the offerings I make. In that case, he said, it's fine. With my help, he fashioned the figurines out of my mother's bones and performed the consecration ritual. Then we placed them in a stupa, and I prepared to leave. My tutor's son said, I will serve you in any way I can, so stay here a few days and talk. I replied, I have no time to talk. I am eager to practice. Well then, stay tonight. In the morning I shall give you provisions for your practice. I stayed. He continued, in the past, when you were young, you vanquished your enemies through magic. Now that you are in the prime of your life, you practice the pure Dharma. That's amazing. In the future, you will become an accomplished master. What sort of Lama do you have, and what kind of oral instructions did you receive? He questioned me in detail. I described how I obtained the great perfection, and in particular, how I met Marpa.
Oh, okay. Now we can just take out this text, because this is the big text and many chapters. I recommend again, and you have physically book or maybe the inside what we call the audio book or whatever you have. I think read. Especially remember we before the lunch how to sleep and things like that. This is very important. Before you sleep, you can read a few pages. Very powerful. You want to do some practice. You don't want to waste your time. And the military was also happened this kind of situation, same as us. So the impermanent very powerful. They change your feelings completely. For example, my own impermanent. Remember, I skipped in Tibet 1991, and I returned as in 2018. You can imagine how long. When I met the first time my mom, almost I cannot recognize how she aged, last 20, 30 years. And then even though I met her, she's old physically, but when with her, very warm and feeling secure and comfortable and back to your childhood and so many good memories. And then 2019, my mom passed away, right? Then I returned again to help my sister a little bit. And your house is not the same as before my mom's life. And because in your mind or heart is the only thinking in your life, and she's gone, and you cannot replay, or you can make another, or you can buy another one, just one. The inside your heart is completely become empty. Then each room looks like feelings very sadness. Same as the great Milarewa explained. The sooner or later we have to separate. First we will say, you have some married, wonderful, few kids, grandkids, very happy. Suddenly your wives die, husband die, and all one by die, and you're carrying the tremendous suffering. How long you are preparing to the Dharma, to benefit your family, to liberate, stay at home, what you call full-time mom or full-time father, or full-time practitioner can help your families. They are powerful in wisdom arising in inside because impermanent. So this is very powerful, isn't it? Yes? Yeah. So this is the part of the impermanent sessions this morning. So now we can go the 2 more sessions and this afternoon. The second is we will begin now, second session. Yeah, 4 thoughts at the second, or third and fourth. Okay. Kewe dewa dojin jishu di dungen deme gyule jungwe chir lume gyunde shisam babji chu langdor nela tingne bebar ji. Once English, then I will explain some.
The fruit of one's positive karma is happiness. Suffering is the fruit of negative karma. The inexorable karmic causation is the mode of abiding of all dharmas. Henceforth, practice the Dharma by distinguishing between what should be practiced and what should be given up.
Okay. Now this chapter, they're talking about the cause and the conditions. There's a very important cause conditions. Everybody can understanding. You can look in the farmers plan any thing, they all coming back is not opposite. For example, farmers plan for the maybe rice, they're not looking for the coin. It's never happened. So this means the cause condition, whatever we build this life, and that helps in this life and next lives. So remember, the Dharma is beautiful, is whatever we make creating negativities, still purify, still you can manage in your mind. So that is a very powerful way to resolve cause and conditions. Cause conditions because we have such good the cause for previous our life of the life, the human form and up until now. So this the continue increase and journey to next life, and benefit ourselves is comfortable. When you walk and comfortable, not much fear. Some things happen, and happen as sooner or later happen. But you are thinking how to again manage. What is the best in my daily practice? The cause and the condition, and the Lord Buddha said, the Vinaya is very detailed, like the powder. The cause condition is more subtle than powder. They cannot separate the molecule or atoms. Very tiny, but very powerful. Looks like you cannot see. For example, say when you go to the airport, you can see, okay, there's a United Airlines or Air Southwest, whatever you see, something size big, and come up in the space, and you cannot see the shuttle is not longer, and you cannot see in the noisy, the sound is not longer, but air is not disappear, but our cannot see at the moment. Then as soon as the airplane is landing the other airport, the same as the shuttle, they are same as a color. Likewise, to bring this kind of our cause to the Dharma, especially Western people, is the strong karma, because say Asian and myself, I was born and raised a Buddhist. There's no surprise, because your father doing the daily practice, your mother doing daily practice. You wake up to sleep, your connection with the Dharma. The Western is your father is not Buddhist, mother is not Buddhist, auntie is not Buddhist either, Then you become slowly, what do you call? Some people become Jubu. Before Jewish, now Buddhism is Jubu, called Jubu. It's also not easy, you transform slowly. I have strong my way, but now I will come in Jubu. And then maybe some Christians, you have to be background, but now you connect to the Dharma. So this means Buddha said, rebirth necessary different place. To you have more opportunity to opportunity to helping others in lamas or like me, because in our own language is difficult. And culturally, I can say this good or bad, and a lot of doubt every day. So the Western people can understand the Western culture and language. But top of them, you look like the ornament. You understand the Dharma. I think a lot of benefit. There are so many now new practitioners in Western, and also you can say South Asia's Buddhist, but it's different. Theravada traditions, Mahayanas and Vajrayanas. Now see these days, first time Vietnam, there one monk or practice for long time in India. He is the first time in the Geshe, their country, This kind of very new. So likewise here in the West, in the Dharma is not new. Beginning is maybe 1960s, early 50, not much, 60s, 70s. Then Buddhists came, Mahayana came, Vajrayana came. Now it's not only that, you are so much fortunate. Such as our guru is like Khenchen Rinpoche, you get many wonderful teachings. Our teachers, His Eminence Garchen Rinpoche, you have so many empowerment, you have so many practice retreat. That way see cause and condition means, even though you are not the same place. See, that's why I'm saying the Western and some is more karma than in Tibet. Tibetan is a Buddhist country. Unfortunately, for example, the noble being, Avalokiteshvara's reincarnation, His Holiness Dalai Lama, is not been going back in Tibet since 1959. And the old generation completely gone, no more there. And the many high lamas, His Holiness Karmapa, His Holiness Drikung Kagyu, His Holiness Sakya Rinpoche, all those in outside, nobody going back in Tibet. But all those great come to in the state, somebody drive me 30 minutes, somebody fly a couple of hours. His Holiness Dalai Lama come to your door, give teaching, His Holiness Sakya and Karmapa, etc., come to here to teaching. That's why we say, as fortunate is open here. So Now this is the cause conditions, how they related. Tibetan called Yud and Devu. They are several different. Some is strongly, last previous life, you will maybe something, and then coming back in Buddhism is very quick. Some years, year means maybe 100 years, or maybe 500 years, make connection, individual. For example, say this case, me and you, we meet somewhere, we gather somewhere, we receive teaching, same teacher somewhere, but now we born new place, the new time to gather again and again until become Buddhahood. That's what we call bond of the water brother sister. They're always gathering somewhere. This planet or other planets, or maybe this life or next life. So this is the cause and condition make always connection there. Without connection, you see the many beings, now we don't know them, they don't know us, because we don't have directly connected. For us, like practitioner, it's very deep connected. Our deep connected is 2,565 years ago, Lord Buddha. Maybe we're during the time some sentient beings, not good human beings, but some sentient beings in here, Varanasi or Bodh Gaya, hear the Dharma. There's a karma and carrying still in a way up until now with the teachings. So the Vinaya said, Lord Buddha, in the Tibetan letter, in the book cover, they will easy to understand what the books belongs to, Madhyamika system or the Tantric system or Vinaya system, because the title say Tamje Kyambala Chatselo means pay homage to the all-knowing one. So this means every monk, nuns, they, okay, this text belongs to the Vinaya, because all-knowing is the only Buddha. This means they're talking cause and content. Detail is only Buddha can understand. Not even though maybe other 10 Bhumis, Manjushri, Avalokiteshvara, they cannot understand like Buddha, subtle part. Then we call the Pakwan Jambe Shunu Gyurwala Chatsalo, means pay homage to the youthful Manjushris. We easily know this one, the Abhidharma systems. So that's why they use the text. That's why I'm said earlier, Milare will return to hometown. And if you read the text, now all familiar. What is what's going on? What does information get? When he meet Marva, when he returned to the hometown, then what happened? So looks like looks like old movie. When you watch a movie and people telling the whatever the movie, you're just familiar all this what you call character or heroes and heroines, or familiar, something like that. That's why the book is read very important. I have also a problem. Maybe not you, it's not a problem. I have a lot of books. I wish whatever I have books, I need to read at least once. Unfortunately, I have some books, still I'm not yet opened my books. It's very shame, But I think maybe not you, in Tibetan we say, and show your books. This the teacher said, can you show me your daily text? He can look here, how much you use it. He didn't say, oh, you take it very nice and very clean. Then he's not make happy. And all this bottom part you open, and the letters gone. He said, you did excellent. So I think your library is many missing this part. My library is some books not open. This is my problem. So we need to book read. This is very important. The book read is not only children's history, old book, not like that. There's enlightened books, so many they have. So we need to read. Usually we do in the one our old place, we read something, 37 Bodhisattva or rotating and something. I think we will keep this one. It's very important to the next chapter, what happened. This book's telling what is important. This also you will get educated, We don't have go to school, monastery, to whole life learning in the lamas and monks and nuns, but we have time to, especially the Western people who love to read book. Even though you go to bus, and you still looking the book. I don't know, you're reading a really book, or maybe you don't, I don't know, you always carrying the book in the train, and also maybe in the bus, still you were in the book. I thought, wow, that's amazing. I have two amazing thought in my mind. First, book, I thought, wow, everybody's become practitioner. This is my mind, okay? Then later I found all books are not the Dharma, of course. Then it's, first, when I reach in America, the gas stations, many gas stations, there are sign like prayer flag. See something, the different colors and hang up the prayer flag. What do you call this? Yeah, you see the gas station or someplace there.
I don't know if it has a real name on it, but we know what you're talking
Yeah, the 5 color, the banners and the gas station. I thought, wow, there's so many prayer flags, because I'm see far away. Then I just look near there. Oh, there are no mantras, So anyway, we need read books. They like Milarewa book. I think all Milarewa. I don't know how many all you know. One the great called reincarnation Milarewa is called Tsoktuk Rangtul. Do you guys Tsoktuk Rangtul is 6 liberator or liberation of sense yogi. Tsoktuk Rangtul. Wow, this book is better than what is the England lady book or read book 3-4 books? What do you call it?
Oh, Harry Potter.
Yeah, better than Harry Potter. There's a lot of fascinating enlightened activities. This book you need must read. Because Chadang Tsoktuk Rangdu. So yogi of the 6 sense liberate yogi or something. Chadang Tsoktuk Rangchol. Samantha, you can type Chadang Tsoktuk Rangdu Chadang. So this is very important. We will, before the tea break, we can find one more yogi book. Okay?
Not so.
Huh?
Not so.
Natsok Rangchol.
Not so
Rangchol.
control.
Chadang Tsok. I can find easy Tibetan, but it's not English. Maybe sometimes they have
Is
together.
Drikung
No,
Kagyu? No.
no, it's the I think Chadang Tsoktuk Rangdu. It looks like Nyingma Yogi, and he also been the Lachi, and he sacrificed like Milarewa. His teaching is love is like Milarewa. Chadang Tsoktuk Rangdu.
Yogi of the 6 senses.
Liberate, yeah. Chadang,
Circle of the sun.
Tsoktuk
Chokinima.
Rangdu.
It's not Shankar? Is it
Yes. Yeah, Shabkar Tsoktuk.
Oh,
Shabkar Tsoktuk. Shabkar is like wide feet. Then 6, what do you call? Mary.
It doesn't give me the actual translation of his name.
is it
Shab-
called in?
Shabkar Tsoktuk Rangdu. Okay, Shabkar Tsoktuk Rangdu was in Tibetan Buddhist yogi, and fit from the Amdo. Shabkar is yogic and hotic skill in the concentrator, second only Milarewa.
Is it Sokjuk?
Yeah, Shabkar Tsoktuk Rangchol, his full name. Did you find it? Aaron, did you try or didn't try? Look here. Okay, read here. You're going to find something here.
I can't read Tibetan.
No, that's the English.
Text by the great
Ah,
Lhasa house. Go there.
no, just go there. Say, what's it? Tsoktuk Rangchol? A little bit.
Text by the great poet and Dzogchen Adept Sabkar Sodruk Rangdral. Light offering prayer. I'm gonna,
The Life of Shapkar, but I can't get the PDF.
Yeah, Shabkar Tsoktuk Rangchol. I think if you find this book, you don't want to go to sleep. You want more coffee, and the next morning you finish the book. It's very powerful. It's not in the scholar commentary. is directly his in experience. You know, he been in Nepal, he built many monasteries, and he is fully yogi. Shakur Choru Randur, I will show you the image, everybody. Look here.
Oh, that's a nice one.
I got it.
Do you want these words too or no?
What they say?
It's Wikipedia.
This is for him, right?
Wikipedia should be authentic.
I need to see his some song of some
Oh,
chapters.
sorry, you want that
Yes.
song?
Yeah,
Okay.
like we talked the impermanent section in the Milarepa Return. So this is some song.
This book?
Yeah,
Yeah, I got the whole one.
yeah, I have some here.
Okay, I'll send this.
You can send the sub.
Trump card.
Yeah.
I'll share it.
And then maybe you can see the subtitle, read me a subtitle's name, and then or maybe realization of the liberate or something, or impermanent something. But so anyway, in Tibet there are so many yogis and yoginis, and amazing. You know, they live in we call life commitment. You guys see those yogis? Love commitment means stay in the mountain or retreat camp, and the small window. That's the only social, what do you call, communicate. People outside come to the door and they say, please give me the teaching, please give me the transmission. You have only time, maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes, because this person is a retreat in full time, whole time, and still rest alive in the retreat. That's called chuse longse, rest alive with the Dharma, and Dharma become the whole life. That's called chuse longse. We need prayer like this kind, you know. And we not need to worry to pay the bill, insuring, traffic, pollution, those free. We live the mountain in your. Just need to wish, you know, we wish many things. We wish like the life, like Chotu Rangdu. Chotu Rangdu is a little bit wealthy material than Milarepa. Milarepa, no accepting anything. You know, the golds and silvers and anybody offering, he didn't accept. Remember, Milarepa student in the region was said, one day he came back, returned India, he was a little bit pride, I'm scholar than my teacher. And the Milarepa said, okay, can you bring this yak horn? And the Rajumba said, well, when somebody offering the gold, you say it's not need anything. Now, useless yak horn, what do you think? I think you owed more attachment. You know, he's directly in the Milarepa said, well, my son, the yak horn didn't bother in the practice. Someday useful. So this way Milarepa was comfortable in the yak horn, he was miserable in outside. So likewise, the Chokdung Rangdu is accept offering gold, whatever offering he built in the monasteries and renovation in the Nepal, the stupa, and also, okay, you found yet?
Which one do you want, Mama?
I want maybe, I'm just guessing, can you read chapter 6?
I have chapter 6.
Yeah,
I sent it to Samantha. It's
yeah, she's working now.
really big book.
Yeah, big book, yeah. Big book, large, you know, there looks like the big book, like kids get chocolate, ice cream, looks like that's everything what the kids wanted. For practitioner, everything in this book. I was fortunate, one of my friends now passed away, we're in the border of Nepal and Tibet. Research text, his one sent us to the mountain, many different, you know, Nepal Himalaya region. So we reach in the mountain, and the 3 valence book. And my friend, you know, we just there a mountain, just rest. I read all those 3 books. It's blessing. It's blessing. Sometimes books, you know, too tired. Some books make you boring. You know, some books you don't want to read. This book, you don't want to stop. You know, continue. Okay, somebody you download yet?
On page 95 is chapter 6.
Chapter 6?
95.
What they say?
I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah.
The Heart of the Lake is the name of the chapter.
Hard to like. I think we're gonna finding the chapter 6 and short break and a coffee break. And we enjoy the coffee and tea and then read book. Sounds good?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you send the link to the
At the
chat?
Heart
Yeah.
of the Lake.
Huh?
At the Heart of the Lake, it's called.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody get coffee or I will go make coffee. Something we need to make coffee. Yes.
I know, I have a copy of them,
Yes. Something we'll need. Oh, deity's imagination. For coffee, imagination to work. You need to real and bring here, you know. Okay, everyone, 5-minute tea break. You can make some tea, coffee.
Is somebody making your coffee?
Yeah, the 2 young men, they will bring coffee.
That will too.
Yeah.